Do you remember when the walk to the mailbox was nothing? You went out, you came back, and you never gave it a thought. Now it feels longer than it used to. Halfway there, your legs get heavy. You stop. You catch your breath. Maybe you rest a hand on the fence and hope the neighbors are not watching. Or maybe it shows up on family walks. The grandkids move fast on the sidewalk, and you fall behind. You wave them a headbutt and tell them you are fine, but inside, it stings a little. If that sounds like you, stay with me. Today, I am going to show you 5 gentle walking movements you can do standing in place at home. No running, no jumping, nothing that pounds your knees or your hips. And the 5th movement, the one most seniors have never tried, is the Japanese walking pattern itself, which is a small rhythm change that does more for your walking stamina than 30 minutes of ordinary walking. These 5 moves are inspired by the Japanese interval walking method, which is a way of walking developed through years of research with older adults in Japan by Dr. Hiroshi Noze and his team at Shinshu University. Today, we are using a gentler version, adapted so you can do every bit of it safely, beside your own kitchen counter. Here is the truth. Tired walking after 75 is not the end of being on your feet. It is not a sign to stop. It is a sign your body needs a different kind of walking, which is gentle, paced, and easy on the joints. Your stamina can come back. So pull a sturdy chair within arm's reach, stand up tall, and let's begin with movement number 5. Number 5 is the warm-up march, and it is the movement that makes everything else possible. If your legs feel stiff and heavy when you first stand up, this is the move for you. This is the one that takes the morning creak out of your knees before you ever leave the house. It gently wakes up the hips, the knees, and the ankles. It gets the blood moving from your feet back up toward your heart. And it tells your body in the kindest way possible that it is time to move. One of the biggest reasons walking feels harder than it should is that we start on cold muscles. Cold muscles complain. Warm muscles cooperate. Give them 2 minutes of warming, and the same walk that felt like a chore starts to feel like a walk again. Here is how to do it. Stand tall behind your sturdy chair with your feet about hip-width apart. Rest one hand or both hands lightly on the back of the chair. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears and look straight ahead, not down at your feet. Now lift one foot just an inch or 2 off the floor. Set it down softly. Lift the other foot. Set it down softly. That is the whole movement. You are marching in place at the pace of a slow, relaxed stroll. Let your free arms swing gently if you are holding the chair with one hand. Breathe in through your nose for 2 steps, then out through your mouth for 2 steps, nice and easy. Watch out for a few common mistakes. Do not lift your knees high. This is not a drill, and high knees jolt the hips. An inch or 2 is plenty. Do not lean back as you lift because leaning back strains the lower back. Stay tall, as if a string is lifting you gently from the top of your head. And do not hold your breath. If you catch yourself gripping the chair with white knuckles, soften your hands. If standing feels like too much today, sit toward the front edge of a sturdy chair and march while seated, lifting 1 foot at a time with the same slow rhythm. That seated version counts, and it is a fine place to start. As you get stronger, go from 2 hands on the chair to 1 hand, then to just a fingertip, then to no hands at all. If you ever feel sharp pain, dizziness, or pressure in your chest, stop and rest. To get the most out of this movement, make it the very first thing you do, every time. Do it for 2 to 3 minutes before the other 4 movements, and do it before any real walk you take, even the short one to the mailbox. The best time is in the morning, when stiffness is at its worst and the payoff is biggest. What you want to feel is a gentle warmth spreading through your thighs and calves, like the heat coming up in a cold room. What you want to avoid is speed and bouncing. There is no prize for fast marching. There is only a prize for steady marching. Do it daily. It asks so little and gives back so much, and on the days when you do nothing else, this one movement still keeps the engine warm. Once your legs are warm, it is time to steady them. Number 4 is the heel-to-toe walk in place, and this is the one that steadies your steps so walking feels less wobbly. Maybe you have noticed that your feet feel flatter and clumsier than they used to. Cracks in the sidewalk feel bigger. Narrow spaces, like the hallway or the space between the bed and the dresser, make you slow down and grab for something. That wobble is not just age, it is feet and ankles that have stopped doing their full job. This movement wakes them back up, and when your feet wake up, your confidence comes back with them. This is the move that makes uneven ground feel less scary. Stand sideways next to your counter or your chair with your hand resting on it for support. Now place the heel of your right foot directly in front of the toes of your left foot as if you were standing on a tightrope. Stand tall and hold for about 5 seconds. Then switch, placing your left heel in front of your right toes, and hold again. Once that feels steady, turn it into a slow walk in place. Step forward onto your heel first, then roll through the foot until your weight reaches your toes, then do the same with the other foot. Heel, then toe. Heel, then toe. That slow rolling motion is the secret because it makes the ankle and all the small muscles of the foot do real work on every step. A few things to watch. Do not stare down at your feet because your balance lives in your eyes and your ears as much as your legs. Glance down to place your feet, then bring your eyes back up. If putting one foot directly in front of the other feels too shaky, leave a small gap between them a few inches to the side, and that is your beginner version. There is an even gentler starting point, which is simply standing with your feet side by side and rocking slowly from your heels to your toes while holding the counter with both hands. Start wherever you are steady. As the weeks pass, narrow the gap, lighten your grip to a fingertip, and hold each position a little longer. Keep the chair or counter within reach the entire time, every session, no exceptions. If you feel dizzy, stop, hold on, and breathe until it passes. To get the most from this movement, do it when you are alert, which for most people is mid-morning, not right after waking and not when you are tired in the evening. Wear thin, supportive, non-slip shoes or go barefoot on a non-slip floor so your feet can actually feel the ground. 1 to 2 minutes on each side is plenty. What you want to feel is your feet gently gripping the floor and the muscles around your ankles working to keep you steady. A little wobble is fine. Wobble is the exercise. What you want to avoid is rushing the switch between feet because most stumbles happen during the change, not during the hold. Slow is steady, and steady is the entire point. Do this 4 or 5 days a week, and you will notice the difference first in small places, like turning around in the kitchen without reaching for the wall. With your balance steadier, let's strengthen the muscles that guard it. Number 3 is sidestepping in place, and this is the one that protects you from falls. Here is something most people never think about. Almost all of our walking goes forward, so the muscles on the outside of the hips, which are the muscles that catch you when you stumble, get weaker and weaker from being ignored. When those muscles are weak, every little trip feels dangerous because there is nothing there to catch you. When they are strong, your body quietly saves you 12 times a day, and you never even notice. This is the movement that builds your safety net. It also makes everyday things easier, like stepping out of the car, stepping around the open dishwasher door, and turning in a tight space without a shuffle. Stand facing the back of your chair with both hands resting on it. Stand tall, with your toes pointing forward and your knees soft, not locked. Now step your right foot out to the side, a comfortable distance, and set it down fully. Then bring your left foot over to meet it. Now go back the other way. Step the left foot out and bring the right foot to meet it. That is one side step each direction. If you have room along a kitchen counter, you can take 2 or 3 steps each way. If you do not, single steps back and forth in place work just as well. Keep breathing normally the whole time. The mistakes to avoid are simple ones. Do not lean your upper body toward the stepping leg. Stay tall and let the legs do the moving. Do not take giant steps, because oversized steps strain the groin and make you tippy. Comfortable and controlled beats wide every time. And do not drag your feet along the floor. Lift them slightly and place them down, because dragging is a tripping habit, and we are here to break tripping habits, not build them. If standing side steps feel like too much today, sit tall in your chair and slide one foot out to the side along the floor, then back in, taking turns with each leg. That seated version still wakes up the same outer hip muscles. As you get stronger, move from 2 hands on the chair to 1, then add a gentle, steady rhythm, almost like slow dancing in your kitchen. If your hip joint pinches or hurts inside, stop. A working feeling in the muscle on the outside of your hip is good. Pain in the joint is your signal to rest. Ease off for a day or two, shrink the step, and come back gently once it settles. To get the most out of sidestepping, do it later in the day, after your body has been up and moving, because warm hips cooperate better than cold ones. 2 minutes is enough. A nice trick is to pair it with something you already do, like sidestepping at the counter while the kettle heats or the coffee brews, so it never needs its own slot in your day. Little habits like that are how this routine survives the busy weeks and the slow ones alike. What you want to feel is a gentle tiredness along the outside of your hips, a sign those forgotten muscles are finally back on duty. Within a few weeks, watch what happens when you turn quickly or step off a curb. You will feel caught, not tossed. Now that your hips are awake, let's build your rhythm. Number 2 is steady pace forward marching, and this is the move that helps you walk to the mailbox without stopping. The warm-up march at number 5 wakes the legs up. This one trains them. The difference is purpose and time. Stamina is not built by short bursts of effort. It is built by holding a steady, comfortable rhythm for minutes at a time, because that is exactly what real walking asks of your body. When you can march steadily in your living room for 5 minutes, the walk to the mailbox stops being a question. When you can do 10, keeping up on a family stroll starts to feel possible again. This is the bridge between moving and walking, and it is the foundation for the number 1 movement coming next. Start the same way as the warm-up march, standing tall with your chair within reach. But this time, pick up the pace just a touch, from a slow stroll to a comfortable, purposeful walk, the pace you would use crossing a parking lot on a pleasant day. Lift each foot an inch or two, set it down softly, and let your arms swing gently in rhythm with your steps. Keep your steps quiet. If you can hear your feet slapping the floor, soften them, because soft steps are what keep this kind of walking kind to your knees. Match your breathing to your steps, in for 2, out for 2, and let the rhythm carry you. Here is the test that keeps you honest. You should be able to speak a full sentence out loud at any moment without gasping. If you cannot, slow down. The most common mistake is speeding up without noticing, a little faster each minute, until you are out of breath and discouraged. Steady means steady. The other mistakes are shallow chest breathing, so keep the breaths low and easy, and shuffling, so keep lifting those feet. If 5 minutes sounds like a mountain today, start with 2 minutes with both hands on the chair, or do it seated with a gentle arm swing, and that is your beginner version. It counts. There is no shame in the chair, and there is no rush to leave it behind. Each week, add 1 minute. 2 becomes 3, 3 becomes 5, and 5, over time, becomes 10. If anything hurts sharply, or you feel chest pressure or unusual shortness of breath, stop and rest and mention it to your doctor. To get the most out of this movement, do it at the same time every day, because stamina loves routine more than it loves effort. Morning works well for some people, while others prefer the late afternoon, so pick the hour you are most likely to keep. Many people enjoy putting on music with a calm, steady beat and letting the song set the pace. Avoid doing it right after a big meal, when your body is busy digesting. Give yourself an hour. What you want to feel is pleasant warmth and slightly deeper breathing, like a good walk on a nice day, never pounding or gasping. And keep a little log on the calendar, just the minutes you did. Watching 2 minutes grow into 8 over a month is the kind of proof no one can argue with, including the voice in your head that says you are too old for this. And that steady rhythm brings us to the movement you have been waiting for. Number 1 is the Japanese interval walking pattern. And this is the trick from the title, the small rhythm change that builds more stamina than ordinary walking ever did. For years, researchers in Japan, led by Dr. Hiroshi Noz at Shinshu University, studied how older adults could get their walking strength back. What they found was beautifully simple. The secret was not walking farther. It was not walking faster. It was alternating, switching back and forth between a gentle pace and a slightly brisker pace, over and over. That gentle wave of effort and recovery asks the heart and the legs to adapt in a way that one steady pace never does. Walkers who used this pattern built stamina that steady walkers simply did not. And the best part for us is that the pattern works just as well marching in place beside your kitchen counter as it does on a walking path in Japan. Here is how to do the senior adapted version at home. Stand tall with your chair within arm's reach. Begin marching at your gentle pace, the relaxed stroll from your warm-up, and hold it for 3 minutes. Then shift up to your slightly brisker pace for 3 minutes. Brisker does not mean fast, and it never means pounding. It means your arms swing a little more, your breathing deepens, and you could still talk, but you would rather not sing. Your feet still lift only an inch or two, and they still land softly. After 3 brisk minutes, drop back down to gentle for 3 minutes and keep alternating. Gentle, brisker, gentle, brisker. Now the beginner version, because 3 minutes is a long time when you are starting out. Begin with 1 minute of each instead, 1 gentle, 1 brisker, repeated twice with your hand on the chair the entire time. That is a 4-minute session, and it is a real session. Over the weeks, stretch the intervals to 2 minutes, then 3, and add rounds as you feel ready, working toward 3 rounds of each. The most common mistake is pushing too hard on the brisk minutes. If you finish gasping, you went too fast, and you will dread the next session. The second mistake is rushing through the gentle minutes as if they were wasted time. They are not. The recovery is half of the method. Honor it. Those gentle minutes are when your heart and your legs absorb the work you just gave them. And as always, stop if you feel chest tightness, dizziness, or pain. And if you have a heart condition, check with your doctor before starting. To get the most out of interval walking, do it 4 or 5 days a week and let the other movements be your warm-up on those days. Keep a clock or a kitchen timer where you can see it, because guessing at minutes never works. Some people set a gentle alarm for each switch so the pattern runs itself while they simply march along. What you want to feel by the end is warm, pleasantly tired, and a little proud, never wiped out. Then watch what happens outside your house. The mailbox walk gets shorter. The rest stops get fewer. The grandkids on the sidewalk stop pulling away from you quite so fast. That is the pattern doing quietly, week by week, exactly what those Japanese researchers watched it do for older walkers just like you. And that brings us to the end of the 5 movements. So let's come back to where we started, at the mailbox. That walk that got longer, the one with the stop halfway and the hand on the fence, is not the end of your walking days. It is just where you are starting from. Every one of these 5 movements is gentle. Every one is low impact, with nothing that jolts your knees or your hips. Every one can be done standing in place at home, with a chair right there for support, and every single one has an easier version, which means there is no level you can be at where you cannot begin. The warm-up march wakes your legs. The heel-to-toe walk steadies your steps. Sidestepping builds the muscles that catch you. Steady marching grows your stamina minute by minute. And the Japanese interval walking pattern ties it all together with the rhythm that helps it all come back. Start slow. Start with the seated versions if that is where you are. Slow starts still work. The walkers who win are not the ones who push hardest on day 1. They are the ones who show up on day 30. Now I would love to hear from you, so tell me in the comments. How far can you walk right now before you have to stop and rest? To the mailbox, around the block, across the parking lot? And which of these 5 walking moves are you going to try first? If this video helped you, please subscribe and share it with a friend who has been falling behind on their walks too. It might be the nudge they need. And stick around, because in the next video we have more gentle ways to keep you strong, steady, and on your feet. Thank you for spending this time with me. Now go warm up those legs. The mailbox is waiting.